good afternoon, everyone. I almost said good morning because I am coming to you live from Australia this week. If you don't know me and you've never seen Empower Hour, my name is Lindsay Helm. I am the founder and CEO of Empower Employ. And Empower Employ provides corporate education and technology solutions for the military community. So, on Empower Hour, we will discuss the employment landscape of the military community and be introducing to you some of the change makers and their programs in this space. This week, I'm really, did I say really excited to introduce to you someone who has made a huge impact in my life and probably has a laundry list of other people that could say the same. Today's guest is Bruce Thompson. Bruce is a retired Marine Corps veteran who has turned into a very well known military and veteran military spouse advocate working in the transition space, providing advice and resources and mentorship and connections and hope and so much more. Please, and I can't wait to tell you about how I met him. Please welcome to the stage, Bruce Thompson. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, glad
How
I
are you
could
doing?
be on with you today, and I'm a little jealous of you being in Australia. I mean, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, but Australia sounds like a fun visit.
Yeah, so I finally did. I took the plunge on founder's life and goal setting, and I have said I really wanted to travel a lot more. So we decided to come to Australia and see the things. Um, Oddly enough, I know when people say that, they come to Australia, they think that there's like kangaroos everywhere. Man, we were all the way in the outback, like literally in the middle of nowhere. And this is a story for later. And I didn't see a single kangaroo. I did almost get ran over by a camel. And I can confirm that Sally the camel does have, in fact, two humps. So anyway, bad joke, done it. So yeah, no big deal there. Just out doing some vacation things. So Bruce, let's get to it. I think everybody knows who you are, but would you mind introducing yourself to those who have never met you before?
Yes, Bruce Thompson, retired Marine Corps vet. I've been retired for over 6 years now. I don't know where time went. Uh, I call myself the military veteran and military spouse advocate. What I've done is, you know, just plunged into the military transition space. Uh, Mine was a little bit difficult, so so people can learn from my hiccups and not repeat them. I've come in here and I've worked with some great organizations. I've done some plenty of things like on my own, and I'm here with Veterans Descend, and it's game changing. So I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna take just a minute and talk about Bruce like he's not here for a second because this is the only time I think I'm gonna get to do this to 13,000 people, so I'm gonna do it. So Bruce here, if you've never gotten an opportunity to reach out and talk to him, I reached out to him once at a time that was just really dark for me. I don't think he knew or anybody knew like how bad it really was. And Bruce said something to me that was like the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. I was telling him I didn't really know where I wanted to go in my career, and I had built all these tech things, and I was burned out and just really miserable. And I told him about Empower Employee and how I launched it in like 2016, 17, 18, and how it rapidly died. And it was just really hard. And I said, that's what I really want to do. That's what I'm really passionate about. It's what I really care about. And Bruce said back to me, so go do it. What do you mean go do it? Did you not just hear the part that like this is going on in my life? I lost X amount of dollars the first time that I ever done that, did this. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And he said, just go do it. And so a week later, I went back and I pulled out the old Empower Employee logo. I pointed like it's on my wall, but it's not. Sorry. New studio, new rule. And dusted it off. And we signed our first contract a week later. And it has been no turn back since then. And the reason I wanted to talk about this for a minute is that one, thank you, Bruce, for everything that you do. I would not be here today, like actually be here without you stepping in and like giving a guidance at a time that I didn't have anybody else to go to. So like I'm gonna not cry today, but thank you so much for that. But now on a happier note, I want to hear about your role at Veterans Ascend and what you're doing there.
Well, first, I didn't know, that basic comment of go do it meant so much to you. So that's wonderful. I love it. Uh, you never know when like someone's going to drop a quick, a buzz thing, and you'll be like, yes, that works for me. Uh, so with Veterans Ascend, first, for anyone who has not heard of Veterans Ascend, we are changing the way employers and candidates find each other. We do not use resumes. There is no applications. There is no job searching. We take the military veteran and military spouse and 18 uh, up military dependent. They go and enter create their free profile, and they enter the skills that they want to use in their next career. So if you get someone like myself, I was a communication electronics maintenance guy. I did not want to have anything to do with that when I get out. I'm what you call a career changer. So I didn't list that. I chose more of the career planner, first sergeant, sergeant major roles, and then I edited the skills that default with those, added a couple other things that I really love doing, and that's how I created my profile. And so what that does is once I create my profile, it goes live, all of the employers that subscribe through the system, the AI powered matching that the platform does pops me out and shows, what roles that I am matched with based on skill sets. So there are, no no resumes that show date gaps. We eliminate date gaps. So if you're a military spouse who's hopped from one career to another every time you had the PCS, because that's just kind of a typical military spouse, uh, resume, that gets removed. We talk about DEI. Until they unlock your profile, all the employer sees is your first and last initial with the number coding of where you are in our system. They don't know male, female. They don't know race. All these things are taken out. So it's just a wonderful system. So we don't have to uh, face some of those things. You don't have no idea how old the person is. So if age discrimination is coming in, you don't get to see that right. Uh, and so that's amazing for the employer side. Uh, they can subscribe for a month, a quarter, the year, and again, once they subscribe, they can list all the jobs they want. Um, it's just a matter of when they are matched and they unlock that profile. This is the great part. They have to tell you if they don't decide to interview you or go with you, they have to tell us, and you'll see it too, why they passed on you. Did you ask for too much salary? Were you missing a key skill? So again, it's changing the whole way it is. And great part, and I love this, you create your profile with us. You can have it running, and you can do the traditional job search on your own and keep doing it that way. But this is still working for you. So you can use our system and the traditional system, and there's no oh, you can only do one or the other. No. This is just a greater thing that's added onto it. And again, end of this month, Veterans Ascend will see some changes because we're going to go over the into Talents Ascend, which is going to be the overarching umbrella. And underneath it, we'll have Veterans Ascend, Ability Ascend, and Mission to Ascend. Uh, right now, we're military veteran, military spouse, dependents only. When we bring in Ability Ascend, it's going to include anyone with a disability. And we do Mission to Ascend, it's going to bring in those individuals that have a justice involved, whether they did some time in jail, prison, something that's on their record that they've taken care of, and they've done their restitution, but they have struggled getting back into meaningful employment roles. We're going to work with them, and that's just getting started. We've got plans and goals to bring other underserved organizations and groups to the forefront here.
Well, that sounds really, really, really cool. That is a lot, and congratulations on your expansion. So, at Veterans Ascend, aside from your profile and matching system, what is your role at Veterans Ascend, Bruce? What are you doing, and what are you working on now?
So as it says, I'm the special projects guy. I'm working on some of the back end to make sure that we have everything in our system that's working right. I do interviewing. I'm the first screening you get if you're trying to get on with us. And again, we only hire from the candidates that are in our system. So if you're interested in working with Veterans, and yes, we are hiring business development, business communications, community relations, and a couple other roles that are a little bit higher up that we haven't posted yet. But we are hiring. So if you want to find out more about that, you have to go in there and create your free profile. On top of the hiring, as always, I'm kind of that sounding board. I have a connection here or two that I like to bring into the team, and it's great. I don't know if she logged in, but the Veterans Ascend Chief of Staff I happen to know pretty well. So Neela is an awesome boss to work for, and Robin is so cool. And Robin's the CEO, Navy veteran who got out of service, and they told her that her skills didn't match what was needed for the civilian world, and she had to start all over again. Well, she did 30 years in the HR realm and saw the things that she didn't like and she wanted to fix. And so that's how we came about. We're 4 years old now. 2 of those years we were, COVID stolen from us for quite a bit. But it's just wonderful. And, we've got new teammates on, and just to see the growth process, what we're going through right now, getting ready to open up Talents Ascend, and then Veterans Ascend, Ability Ascend, and Mission to Ascend are going to become nonprofits. So it's just wonderful to think, and we are going to help so many find that employment that they've been searching for, and we're going to help match them up, because it's about the skills that you want to use. It's not about you searching for an employment and saying, "Oh, I think this might fit what I'm looking to do." No, when you get matched, you know that you're a fit for the position. Now all you have to go do is have that conversation, interview, and be who you are, and just let them, prove that you have the skills that they need. And we're talking cultural fit, and that's what it takes. And I'll tell you, for the Veterans Ascend team, we're all veterans or military spouses.
Got it. So tell us your story. Let's change and talk a little bit more about you. Tell us your story as a veteran and what made you want to work as an advocate, or yeah, what made you want to work and advocate for others like yourself?
So when I transitioned, I'm like many. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. I'll be honest, I still don't, but that's all right because I'm never growing up. I walked into a career, 6-figure job right off the bat. It was doing communication electronics. I was senior production supervisor, electronics manufacturer, and it was the easiest job I've ever had in my life. But I had no purpose, no passion for it. Luckily for me, I was headhunted off of LinkedIn with an opportunity working on 2 Navy contracts, back in the staffing HR realm. And I was going to be able to open my own shop, everything else. We worked on that for 9 months. And like wonderful contracting is, we didn't win the contracts. So that, conditional offer went poof. And I was sitting there with, well, that sucks. I got into a deep, dark hole between my PTSD, depression, anxiety, and all that. I didn't leave the house. And I'm talking, I didn't leave the house for over a month. Neither kind of said, hey, I'm tired of you sitting on the couch watching TV and taking naps with the pup. Get out of the house and do something. Well, she was not very clear on what she meant by do something. So, I put my earbuds in. I went to the, par three golf course, and I played 18 to 36 holes of golf, depending on my body feeling and the traffic on the course. So after about a week or so of that, she realized that's what I was doing, and she came out and said, "Not what I meant." It's like the kids are out of the house. We've got the bills paid off. You don't have to find this high paying job. Find something you have a passion for and go do it. I said, great. My passion was to continue to serve. So I applied for 3 different roles. One was to be the logistics manager for the Camp Pendleton transition space out in San Diego. Another one was also on base, teaching different workshops, Franklin Covey's and others, to help better round individuals out so they could understand a little bit more what was going on. And then I applied to be a Department of Labor 3-day employment workshop facilitator. Well, for those of y'all don't remember, back at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, the government said, we're going to freeze all hiring. Well, 2 of those 3 jobs were on base, so they became frozen jobs. One of those jobs was already mine. I just had to go through the process. But the process didn't happen fast enough, so it got locked out. The contractor that did the DOL workshops in Southern California called me up, had a great interview, and I started teaching the workshop. Now, the crazy part is, I'm a Marine living on Camp Pendleton, but I didn't really teach on Camp Pendleton. I taught Twin Palms, I taught Pendleton a couple times, MCRD San Diego, Miramar, but mostly I taught the retiring Navy personnel on Point Loma. So again, Marines training the Navy on how to process out. It's worked. I made some great connections there, and one of them actually followed me here to Jacksonville, and we started a veterans networking group.
Okay.
But we did that, and then Neva said, "Hey, our lease is up in 6 months. What are we going to do?" And I said, "Well, we're not going to sign it." And so we quickly figured out what we wanted to do. We picked Jacksonville, Florida. Never been here, didn't know a soul. Just treat it like one of those PCS moves where figure it out. So we just went over 5 years being here in Jacksonville. We have figured it out. We have done a great job of embedding ourselves into the military veteran community. Not only that, but also the community at large. And this wonderful thing called LinkedIn really lets you reach out and connect with a lot of different people. I was lucky I got here, and a fellow veteran lived across the courtyard from where we first had an apartment. And he took me to this incredible event, and he introduced me to the who's who in the Jacksonville military and veterans community. I did what I'm supposed to. I followed up with emails, LinkedIn requests. I had a gentleman who said, "Sure, stranger, I'll give you 10 minutes to have a cup of coffee." And of course, the funny part is neither one of us drink coffee, but we still met at Starbucks. And he was a retired brigadier general, and he's kind of like everybody has to meet up with Mike. And I met up with him, and now we work on so many different programs together. It's just amazing what happens when you talk to people and let your passion show. And since then, I got to do 2 years as the Vets to Industry Vice President. I absolutely loved it. They have their event coming this Saturday, so check out Vets to Industry. It's a great networking event. It's virtual. And I left that after a couple of years because I figured they needed some new blood in there. I still attend the events. I still enjoy them. And I was doing some work, in the freelance part, and Robin and Neela came and said, "Hey, would you be willing to, uh, spend a little time with us?" So it's like, sure, I can do a little of this, and you know, I I have that. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and I got a resource or 1,000 that I can share. So it's just helping to bring more awareness and information that Veterans Ascend does exist, what we do, how we're changing how employment is found, and it's all no charge to the candidates, no charge to the service members or their spouses. Who doesn't like the word free?
Basically, yeah. So what's the best piece of advice you can give to the veteran or military spouse community when they are feeling defeated, and that transitional period in their life?
Well, first, when you just feel completely beat up, you've got to push yourself away from the table, away from the computer. Uh, Self care is so important. Uh, I'm a firm believer in mentorship. I'll tell it today, I'll tell it tomorrow, I'll tell it forever. Everyone needs a mentor. My favorite site is veterati.com. Unfortunately, it's been down for maintenance for the last 4 or 5 days, but it's a 1 hour conversation with a mentor of your choosing. It's it's literally a 1 hour phone call where you can have any questions you have, whether that's, hey, can you walk me through your transition, or hey, I'm looking for XYZ. Go out there and have those conversations. I also tell you, use that Veterati site for informational interviews. There's plenty of people out there in all industries working for amazing companies. So go out there, have those conversations, get the insight, and network with a purpose. Now, once you understand what it is you want to do, this is when you get everything together. You reach out to American corporate partners, and you make sure that you get a industry expert as your mentor for 12 months. Again, it's another free program. You know, my, my buddies, Leslie Coffee and Eric Brew are a couple of those great individuals that work for ACP, American Corporate Partners. And you're going to get these great resources and great advice. And they're going to be able to connect you and tell you the inside scoop on what they're really looking for, what degree, certification, mindset, whatever it happens to be. They're going to give you that inside scoop that many of us are like, clueless to. Talking to industry insiders is an important part of landing that dream job.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So we have two more questions for you. ACP is a great organization. Totally agree there. And Veterati is really amazing with what they've built. So our two questions left for you today, Bruce. They're really easy ones. One is, what's your favorite duty station and why?
Oh, that's a tough one. The favorite place I was at was Guantanamo Bay. Uh, you're on an island and spend half the time in the water. It's great. Uh, Now, as far as the people side, I love Kansas City because our small shop. We all knew each other's spouses, the kids. We had all these events together, and so it was a true family. And the joke was Neela and I were grandma and grandpa. We had our staff sergeant and his wife that were mom and dad, and then we had the kids, the grandkids, the great grandkids. So it was just a really great environment and fun to be around and do things with.
Yeah, I've only been a few places and now I'm really starting to enjoy Hawaii kind of for similar reasons. It's, you're always out by the water or by the beach, and I don't know. I hope we end up in like San Diego someday. That's really I hope that's my next time that I get to ask that question. It'll be, I want to go to San Diego. So last question of the day is, how do people get in contact with you?
Well, I've seen it up here a couple of times. My LinkedIn profile is out there. Remember, it says follow. So if you really want to connect, you have to click the more button and personalize the invite. Personalize the invite. Tell me who you are, how you found me, and why you're reaching out. It makes it so much quicker for me to accept and respond to you. You can find veteransascend.com. that's our website. Please check it out. Make sure you're enjoying it. Veterans Ascend is also on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So again, we're easy to find. I'm only on LinkedIn. If you follow me on Facebook, I hope you don't really look for anything other than sharing resources and information, because that's where I'm at and that's what I do. Uh, but yeah, just reach out, let us know how we can assist you, and we do a bi-weekly walkthrough so you understand how to create your profile, optimize your profile, and find the matches that you really uh, are looking for.
Well, great. Well, I want to thank you again, Bruce, for joining us on Empower Hour, and thank you, guests, for joining us. Please check out Bruce on LinkedIn and follow the instructions that he gave you. It's the easiest way for you to get his attention and get the assistance that you're looking for. Um, as for me, I will see you all at the next Empower Hour. I believe the guest is Mod Squad, but I have to confirm. I'm a little out of sorts just with travel. But I will talk to you all then. Please don't forget to tune in and have a great afternoon.